My name's Jason. I'm the drum and keyboard tech on the Stephen Wilson tour. We're here today in, where are we today? Munich. It's been a long tour. I can't remember where we are from a day-to-day basis. We're all ready to go for sound check. That's going to start in about 45 minutes, but I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the stage and show you what's going on. We've been using Klotz cables with Stephen for quite a few years now, also with Porcupine Tree as well. They're incredibly reliable. We haven't had any problems with them at all. You know, we've got lots and lots of spares, but we never have to use them. You know, very, very rarely break. We made a load of our own custom length ones as well. Klotz kindly supplied us with some drums of cable and connectors, so we made a lot of custom length, custom looms and stuff. All very easy. As I said, reliability has been amazing, and they sound great. You know, had no problems at all with them. Full clear sound, especially on the guitars and keyboards. You know, just sound amazing. So over here we have Craig Blundell's drums. Lovely drum set there. Not too many Klotz cables on that, unfortunately. It's all audio company stuff. Then we have Stephen Wilson's keyboard rig here. This is one of the ones that I look after on the tour itself. So we have a couple of analog synths, the sequential circuits Prophet 6 and a Moog Sub 37, all wired together with Klotz cables. Then we have his other keyboard here, which is just running main stage as a MIDI controller. As far as Stephen's guitar rig is concerned, wireless from his guitar and running into a quad cortex with a volume and an expression pedal on there. And then that basically runs into his amp over here. So we're using a couple of KSR PA50 amps on this. Normally uses bad cap, but we're using different amps on this tour. And that goes into his bag cab. Again, running Klotz cables for the whole of that. Yeah, so Stephen primarily plays PRS, although he does have a couple of Fender Telecasters as well. But PRS is his mains. This is his main guitar, lovely gold top. Tuning wise, on this tour, is pretty much everything is in standard E. There are a couple of songs with a drop D. And this is his drop D guitar here. This is his original PRS, first ever one he owned. It's the only one he's ever bought, yeah. That's the only one he ever paid for. So it's before he got his endorsement. But it's a beautiful guitar. It's actually one of my favourites that he owns. So he plays this on a couple of numbers in drop D tuning. It's all very basic tuning on this. On Porcupine Tree, it's a little bit more complicated. We have some drop Cs and some baritone guitars and other things like that. But on this tour, it's a little bit more basic. So this is his main Fender Telecaster. He plays this in quite a few songs on the tour. This is one of his favourites. Beautiful sounding guitar. So acoustic wise, yeah, Stephen's endorsed by Takamine. This is his main. Beautiful guitar, sounds absolutely incredible. Wonderful guitars. He used to play Babbitt's, but he's changed onto these now, and amazing difference. They sound incredible. Lovely guitars. Randy plays one of these as well on the tour on a song.
Basically what you got, this is the offstage effects board. This controls all the acoustics and all the electrics. All the electrics are depicted here. So it's the drop blue D, the gold PRS, the main telly, the telly spare. I've got a black and I've got a red, which is there. On a couple of the songs, instead of him having to go in and get a graphic and all this sort of thing, I can add and I can deduct on different songs here, but this is that graphic there. We use that. So basically it'll take a little bit of high end. It's like anything. When you go digital, by the time you've found what you want, you've forgotten. So basically having an analog one, you just go, Stephen will say, I need a little bit less of this, and it's hands-on straight away. It's hands-on straight away. I've got the muting system here, so basically that's the guitar mute, that's the acoustic mute. On the acoustic, I use a very, very cheap and cheerful, but it's a wonderful chorus pedal, and it just gives it a little bit of life. Once again, I've got the graphic. There's something unique about these GE7s. As you can see, I've got a flat EQ, but when you turn it on, it acts as a oral enhancer. It just does something. It's the technology that's in it, and it just opens it completely up. I can switch between, so basically I've got two there, and that's all my switching. This is the new Shure radio system. And as I pointed out earlier on, this is the first time that Mr. Wilson has gone over to a radio system. He would never ever use one before, because the man is a connoisseur when it comes to guitar sounds. And he felt that I can understand exactly what he's saying, but for some reason, this actually does really work. It's not like the units we had 10 years ago where it's like they had gates in them and all this sort of thing, and you lost that feel of a cable. But saying that, it sounds like a Klotz cable. So it's all very, very good. And as you can see, the computer there, what it does, I'm in control of the FX board. So number 6, Vermilion core. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. He doesn't change it. Ta-da! Vermilion core is there. So basically, that's what this does. And as you can see, if you come on the stage, because that's the spare one. And this is the main one here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up. Once again, all Klotz cables. And you can hear it's very, very big.
Okay, I am going to show you very quickly what's going on with my setup here. This is a Mini Moog Voyager. I've had this for years. I love it. It's the modern version of the classic Mini Moog. I'm sure lots of people are aware of it. They've stopped making this particular model a few years ago, but I still think it's the best single voice analog synthesizer available. So I do a lot of analog synthesis stuff with the Moog, and I do all the digital stuff in the laptop running main stage. One other component of the main stage laptop rig is, I don't know if you can see down here, a Hammond module, Hammond XM3, XM2. It's amazing. It sounds exactly like a Hammond, and I love it. It's got a Leslie switch here, so I can be old school with the Leslie, etc., etc. I saved the piano for last because almost all these effects pedals are for the electric piano. It's almost like a guitar with an effects board. So running through electric piano is a delay pedal, line 6 delay pedal. I'll do the audio stuff first. That's a line 6 delay pedal. This one is the Sans amp. It's an amp modeler. Over here we have a classic wah-wah. I did a little modification on it though. I have a light when the wah-wah part is on, which is great, especially for those moments when I have to play a nice quiet piano part just after a section where I did a lot of crazy stuff using the wah-wah. And sometimes I didn't know if I switched it or not, or I couldn't remember or whatever. And so anyway, that's a nice little modification that one of my keyboard guys, Phil, did for me. Anyway, the last one here is the Moog Mooger Fooger ring modulator. And ring modulation, you guys probably know, it takes the sum and the difference of the two frequencies. There's an oscillator in there. It takes the sum of the difference of two frequencies and spits out two more frequencies. So you get these crazy sideband kind of sounds. And I wish I could show you, but I have no wedge anymore. We're using in-ear monitors now, so I can't even really play the stuff for you. Anyway, the rest of the stuff is controllers. This is a voltage pedal for the Mooga Fooger, so this changes the frequency of the carrier oscillator, so I can make the pitches dance around and do really wild things. This is a foot switch for the Leslie, which is internal on the Hammond, and a secondary sustain pedal for stuff that's in the laptop. That's about it. My new toy this trip is the ARP 2600. Korg loaned me. There's a lot of modular stuff on Steven's new album, The Overview, and so I'm trying to capture some of that stuff with the ARP 2600. And I set up a patch where I can just make a few modifications and get some different things happening, because of course there's no patch memory on this. It's a real old-fashioned, literally patches. So, and I run this through a small TC Electronic flashback delay. Yeah. Oh, check it out. Here's the drawbars for the Hammond. See, so it's really very much in the zone. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful.
How you doing? My name's Nick Beggs. This is my bow. I have to rosin it. I'm going to rosin my bow. You've arrived just in time for me to rosin my bow. You lucky person. I put a bit on every time. Otherwise it doesn't work. Not too much. Just a little bit. That's better. There we go. This is my Stag electric upright. Cheap and effective. With rubber strings. You can drop this down an elevator shaft and nothing would happen to it. It's still in tune. I've tried it a few times. It's great. It's got some bashes on the back. Saves taking an acoustic bass on a plane. Then we have my custom Spectre 5-string fretless. Probably the best fretless I've ever played. Sings like a bird. Which I use on the Raven that refused to sing, ironically. Then there's my standard Chapman stick, 10-string, low B, extra couple of frets at the bottom, give me that low B, which is very useful. And then we have my main weapon, the bass of Goo, 1979 Wall Pro E2, the one I used on all the Kajagoogoo stuff. So there's that. And going through a Helix, that's everything I use in terms of effects, nothing else. I got a gig rig for patching between the 4 instruments, nice and simple. I don't really use this for any other purposes. Stephen likes to hear it on stage. He wants to hear my bass on stage. I have in-ear monitoring, so I can't hear it. But this is a TC Electronic Rebel 450 head, digital multi-band compression head, very effective. And that's it. That's me, that's my world. So, boom shankar. Oh, and I forgot. Klotz leads that work brilliantly. Look.
Hey, this is Randy McStine. I'm on tour playing guitar and singing with Steven Wilson. We're here in Munich, Germany, and we're going to talk about some of the tools of the trade here. As far as guitars, the main guitar I'm playing in this show is a Paul Reed Smith custom 24. It's a piezo model, which allows for me to bring in an acoustic sound with the flip of a switch if need be. It's a great guitar. I've had it for a couple years now, going back to working with Porcupine Tree. And yeah, if you need one guitar to sort of cover a lot of ground, this is definitely a great instrument to have. I've got the Strandberg Sail-In Tremolo NX6, Tremolo Black it's called. Also a great guitar. The Strandbergs are super fun to play, super portable, very easy to travel with It's a constant sort of hotel room companion, and very lightweight, and also very very diverse sonically. I'm using that for a couple songs in the show, one of which is the whole second side of Steven's new record, the title track, The Overview. And finally, a bit of a wild card here. It's a Tele-style guitar made by a boutique builder in California, LSL Instruments. This is the Bad Bone 290 model with humbuckers, which can be split. I'm using that for just a couple tunes in the set, but very vibey guitar and something completely different from the other two. And you want to get into some signal chain stuff? So one of the things we decided to do on this tour was embrace amp modeling, and we decided to go with the Neural DSP Quad Cortex as our main brain for both of our guitar rigs, Steven and I. He's using it exclusively with a couple of Dunlop volume and expression pedals. Mine is at the core of it, but I've built other pedals around it to get some more out-of-the-box weird sounds that are necessary for the show. So the signal chain starts also with a Dunlop volume pedal. I've got two as well. This one's set up for expression, but we've got volume going into Cali 76 compressor. And that's running up to this Digitech Freakout, which is a very cool sort of feedback generator pedal. I use that quite a bit in the show, actually. Little fuzz pedal, some more weirdness here with some glitchy sound effect kind of stuff. Running into this little MXR carbon copy, just for a little analog delay. Eventide H90s providing some more synthy tones. And that's all going into the Quad Cortex. And then finally, we're running it into a tube power amp made by a company in the States called KSR. It's the PA50. It's got a EL34 tube in it. Sounds great. You can do a lot of tone sculpting with this post Quad Cortex. And then finally going into a Bad Cat 412 cab. For my rig, I'm running stereo on this tour, so I've got half of it going to this sort of analog path, and then the other half is using impulse response technology and going into a DI, just direct. And then he's got both signals, and he can spread them out, because I've got a lot of patches where delays are kind of ping-ponging, and some reverse stuff where the timing is different on the left side than the right. So it's been really fun to kind of put together some unique sounds for the show. The whole rig is powered by Klotz cables, which are, of course, amazing. I've been lucky to have them in my rig for about 3 years now. Love what you guys are doing, and thank you.